A man boards a flight with a first-class ticket for seat 1A, only to find a wealthy woman already sitting there. She refuses to move, claiming the crew knows me. Shockingly, the flight crew sides with her and tells him to move to economy, without ever checking her ticket. He refuses, insisting on the seat he paid for. Security is called, and when they finally demand her boarding pass, the truth comes out. Her seat is actually 14F in economy. The cabin is stunned. Then the real twist hits. The man is Ethan Cole, the majority shareholder of the airline. With one phone call, he activates an internal protocol, freezing the flight and launching a civil rights investigation on the spot. The woman is exposed, the biased crew is suspended, and the incident sparks reforms across the entire airline. All because one man refused to give up the seat he rightfully owned. If you are enjoying the stories, please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel. And now, let us begin the complete story. On the bustling flight of a major airline, a man boards his first-class seat in seat 1A with a single-minded determination. He had purchased the ticket months ago and couldn't wait to enjoy the premium experience that it promised. Private cabins, personal attention from cabin crew members, and unparalleled comfort. However, as he settled into his seat, an unexpected twist unfolded before him. The man's first-class companion was seated in economy class with a wealthy woman who refused to budge. "The crew knows me," she snarled through the air conditioning vents. "They can't help but acknowledge my status." Despite her claim that they were familiar and had met during previous flights, security personnel could not verify the man's identity or address on his ticket. As the plane made its way to the runway, the captain called for a boarding pass check, yet the truth was hidden behind a veil of secrecy. When security finally asked for proof of belonging, the man refused to yield without further explanation. He stood up from his seat and demanded that he be given economy class tickets immediately. The crew looked at him with mixed emotions. They had never handled such an incident before and were not equipped to deal with someone who was attempting to demand a higher priority seating. The tension mounted as the man's frustration boiled over, causing several flight attendants to approach him for help. "Are you sure you're entitled to this seat?" one asked, her voice shaking slightly under the weight of his request. "Absolutely," he replied firmly, holding up his first-class ticket with pride. "I had made a reservation months ago and purchased it weeks before my departure date." The crew hesitated for a moment, considering their options. The wealthy woman was likely to be a high-profile executive or business leader who would undoubtedly demand attention from the airline's management team if they denied her seat. On one hand, security could investigate the claim without taking any further action. On the other hand, it might escalate tensions and create an uncomfortable atmosphere for everyone involved. As the crew debated their decision, a middle-aged man sitting nearby approached them with a worried expression. "We need to do something about this," he said, his voice shaking slightly. The man turned to him and revealed himself as Ethan Cole, the majority shareholder of the airline. He had recently taken control after the previous CEO's sudden departure due to financial mismanagement and personal scandals. With his wealth and influence, he was determined to put an end to such incidents that threatened to undermine the airline's reputation. "All right," Cole said, addressing the crew with a calm yet firm voice. "We need to reassess this situation. Can you freeze the flight? And if not, can we initiate a civil rights investigation immediately?" The cabin was stunned as the man's request seemed sudden and unprecedented. The team of airline employees exchanged glances, unsure of what to do next. "We cannot freeze the flight without first reviewing your ticket," one security officer replied hesitantly. "And while we could investigate this claim on our own, it would be premature, given that you are a shareholder." Cole's expression hardened as he considered their response. He knew firsthand how sensitive matters involving wealthy individuals and powerful companies were under scrutiny by the public eye. If his company didn't address his issues promptly, they might face severe consequences in terms of lost trust from customers and investors. "What we can do," Cole said, gesturing to a nearby chair, "is gather information about your ticket through our systems. We will review it for any discrepancies or evidence that could support your claim." The crew nodded in agreement, understanding the gravity of the situation. They began scanning the man's boarding pass, looking for any sign of an error or discrepancy. Finally, they located a handwritten note on the back with his name and date of birth attached. Cole quickly skimmed it over, realizing that the ticket was actually valid for economy class travel for multiple flights in different time zones. This information could potentially be used as leverage to convince the woman to switch her seat, ensuring both parties' interests were met. "Okay," he said firmly, turning back to the man and addressing him directly again. "If you are willing to provide us with this ticket and share the information we need from it, we will review your claim and explore possible solutions." The man's eyes widened in shock as he realized that his initial request had been taken into consideration. He couldn't believe what was happening before him. A passenger who had boarded an airline flight on the pretense of having reserved first-class status, only to find herself sitting with someone she did not recognize. "Are you sure this is right?" the man asked, taking another look at his ticket in disbelief. Cole nodded definitively. "Yes," he said, extending both hands out to him. "We understand your concerns and will do everything we can to resolve this issue." The cabin erupted into applause as Cole's words echoed through the air. The airline employees were no longer hesitant to investigate the claim, knowing that the man had come forward with a valid reason for his request. As they prepared to proceed with the civil rights investigation, Cole made one final note before leaving the plane. "Remember," he said, turning back towards him and addressing the passenger who had initially obstructed their efforts, "we are here to ensure fair treatment for all passengers, regardless of their social status or wealth." With that, he walked out of the cabin, his actions serving as a reminder to everyone on board. Even in the face of adversity, it's important to stand up and demand equal rights. The man boarded with an unwavering determination, knowing that one simple request could change everything for himself and those around him. The long story continues as Ethan Cole takes control of the airline after a series of high-profile scandals. With his wealth and influence at stake, he embarks on a journey to reformulate policies and practices that prioritize fairness and equality among passengers. His actions not only lead to a new era of accountability, but also inspire others in their quest for justice and dignity. Through vivid descriptions of the man's encounter with the wealthy woman, the airline crew struggle to comply with his request, and the civil rights investigation that follows. Readers are taken on an emotional roller coaster ride as they witness firsthand the power of one individual's courage and determination. As they watch him navigate this challenging situation and emerge victorious in the end, they learn valuable lessons about empathy, integrity, and the importance of standing up for what is right, no matter how difficult it may seem. From a global perspective, this story serves as an inspiration to aviation companies that prioritize passenger rights and strive towards creating inclusive environments where all passengers feel valued. As readers immerse themselves in Ethan Cole's journey, they are invited to reflect on their own experiences with discrimination and inequality, prompting them to question the status quo and demand fairness for all. In conclusion, The Flight of Change is a gripping tale that explores themes of empathy, justice, and the power of one individual to affect change. As passengers board an airline flight with first-class tickets only to find themselves sitting in economy class, they are faced with a challenging situation involving personal rights and systemic racism. With Ethan Cole's intervention, the cabin undergoes a civil rights investigation that ultimately leads to reforms within the airline industry. From his initial request for, to his final note about fair treatment for all passengers, this story showcases how one person can make a difference in the lives of others through their actions and dedication to justice. As readers journey alongside Ethan Cole on his quest to create a more equitable and inclusive aviation landscape, they are left with a lasting impact, inspired by his unwavering commitment to equality and fairness for all passengers. The flying crime the passengers, led by Ethan Cole, were seated in the first-class cabin of a private plane bound for Paris. They had booked their seats with confidence that they would have access to the best amenities and personalized service. However, when security checked their boarding passes at Gate 2, they found something unexpected. A wealthy woman sat in economy class instead of first class. This was not just any old mistake. It represented a violation of personal rights. Ethan's first reaction was disbelief. He had always been respectful to his fellow passengers and knew that the premium seats were reserved for those with higher social standing or status. He quickly approached an agent on duty, requesting clarification about her seat assignment. The agent explained that her ticket was not valid because it had been purchased through a third-party travel agency in economy class. Ethan's frustration grew as he realized that someone who might be considered wealthy could sit in his most sought-after seating area. As the passengers around them began to speak, Ethan listened intently and made sure they understood his perspective. "How is this possible?" he asked, his voice echoing through the cabin. A few others chimed in with their own thoughts, voicing concerns about fairness for all passengers. Some argued that airline policies were outdated and needed an overhaul, while others expressed frustration at how easily someone could exploit these rules without getting caught. Ethan knew he had to take action. He approached his flight captain, asking if there was any way they could modify the reservation or rebook her seat in first class. The captain looked surprised, but ultimately agreed to do whatever it took to ensure that she received a first-class experience. The next day, Ethan contacted the airline's customer service department and explained his request for an amendment. He spoke with multiple representatives who were equally puzzled by the situation, as they had never encountered such a situation before. However, after hours of deliberation and consultation, the company came up with a solution that would address both issues simultaneously. The airline decided to rebook her seat in first class using her original ticket number, ensuring that she did not get caught in a mistake or a false charge for additional fees. The passengers were initially skeptical about this solution, but eventually accepted it as fair and reasonable. As the plane took off from Gate 2, Ethan could feel a sense of relief wash over him. He had been standing on the edge of his seat, waiting anxiously for the crew to make the necessary adjustments to her boarding pass. But when they finally reached his row, he saw that she was seated in first class with a smile. The cabin erupted into applause as Ethan walked through the door, his heart filled with pride and satisfaction at what had been accomplished. He turned to the other passengers, who were still on board, and thanked them for their support during this difficult situation. As they boarded economy class, Ethan couldn't help but reflect on how much his actions had impacted not just him, but everyone else in the cabin. The incident had sparked a conversation about discrimination and inequality that would resonate with all of them long after their flight was over. They began to question the status quo and demanded fairness for all passengers. The airline's reforms were immediately implemented, affecting every aspect of its operations from security procedures to staff training. New policies were introduced, ensuring that only verified first-class tickets could be purchased on board, and crew members were trained in cultural sensitivity and understanding different seating arrangements. As Ethan continued his journey, he felt a sense of fulfillment knowing that his actions had made a difference not just for himself, but also for countless others who would have otherwise been subjected to unfair treatment. He realized that every small step towards equity and inclusion was essential in creating a more equitable world. In conclusion, The Flight of Change is an inspiring tale that explores the power of one person's courage and dedication to justice. Through Ethan Cole's journey on this private plane flight, readers are taken on a captivating adventure into the heart of discrimination and inequality. They witness firsthand how personal rights can be violated without anyone ever getting caught, and how individuals like Ethan can make a difference in their fellow passengers' lives by standing up for fairness and equality. As they continue to reflect on the events that took place on this fateful flight, readers are left with a lasting impact, inspired by Ethan Cole's unwavering commitment to creating a more inclusive aviation landscape. The tale serves as a reminder of the importance of empathy, justice, and systemic change in our society, and encourages us all to strive towards a world where everyone can feel valued, respected, and treated fairly. Global outline. 1. A man boards a private plane with a first-class ticket for seat 1A, only to find that the seat is actually economy class. 2. Security is called upon when they demand his boarding pass, revealing that the woman he was seated next to has already occupied this spot previously. The truth comes into light. She had purchased her own economy class ticket and used a fake boarding pass. 3. As Ethan Cole investigates this situation, it becomes clear that there are systemic barriers preventing individuals from accessing premium seats in first class due to perceived discrimination or privilege. These policies often favor the wealthy and influential over those with less means. 4. The airline's crew members' biases against people of color lead them to overlook the woman's presence on their flight, despite her significant financial resources. As Ethan learns more about her background, he discovers that she is a well-respected businesswoman who has always been willing to pay for first-class travel when it comes to networking and professional opportunities. 5. The incident sparks widespread outrage within the airline community as passengers begin demanding change. They demand that their flights be made equal or at least accessible to everyone, regardless of their financial status or background. 6. As more voices come forward, Ethan becomes a catalyst in pushing for reforms within the airline's policies and procedures. He reaches out to representatives from various stakeholders, including shareholders, employees, and customers, highlighting how his personal experience with this woman has changed his perspective on privilege and discrimination. 7. The CEO of the airline is initially resistant to change, but eventually comes around when he sees the potential benefits for both passengers and the company's reputation. They agree that a comprehensive review of their policies would be necessary to ensure they are equitable and fair, particularly in regard to premium seating allocation. 8. As part of this process, Ethan begins working closely with experts from aviation law, civil rights advocacy groups, and airlines to gather information on existing laws and regulations governing luxury travel products. He also conducts interviews with passengers who have faced similar experiences at other flights or within the airline itself to gain a better understanding of their perspectives. 9. The journey takes several months as Ethan works tirelessly to draft new policies that address discrimination in premium seating allocation, such as implementing clear guidelines for verifying passenger identities and providing alternative options for first-class travel when necessary. He also collaborates with regulatory bodies and other relevant authorities to ensure compliance and adherence to international standards of fairness. 10. Once the proposed policy changes are finalized, Ethan presents them to a joint committee representing stakeholders from within the airline and its customers. The panel consists of aviation experts, civil rights advocates, and senior management officials who provide valuable insights into the potential drawbacks or challenges associated with implementing these reforms. 11. During the public hearing, numerous passengers expressed their concerns about the impact on economic mobility and personal freedom, while also acknowledging the benefits to the airline's reputation and bottom line. Ethan delivers a powerful testimony outlining his first-hand experience with this woman and how her unfair treatment has altered his perspective on luxury travel experiences. 12. The committee debates the proposal in detail, considering different perspectives from various groups, including those who may be negatively impacted by changes in premium seating allocation. After several heated discussions and consultations, they eventually reach a consensus that it is necessary to revise existing policies while also providing alternative solutions for passengers with lower incomes or underrepresented backgrounds. 13. The airline's board of directors authorizes the implementation of these new regulations, which include implementing an enhanced identity verification process for premium seating bookings, offering more affordable options for economy class seats when requested, and promoting diversity in flight attendants and crew members to better serve a diverse customer base. 14. With the new policies in place, Ethan continues his role as a vocal advocate for equality within the airline community, leading by example on how he can make a difference through his own actions and words. He becomes an inspiration to others who may be facing similar struggles, encouraging them to take action against discrimination and advocate for fair treatment at all levels of society. 15. The story concludes as Ethan's efforts bring significant changes in the airline industry, not only regarding premium seating allocation, but also within its culture and practices. His unwavering commitment to justice and equality has resonated with passengers, crew members, regulators, shareholders, and other stakeholders alike. As a result of his actions, the company becomes more transparent, diverse, and inclusive, fostering a sense of unity among all those involved. 16. The flight of change serves as an enduring reminder that every individual's voice can make a difference in creating a world where everyone feels valued, respected, and treated fairly, regardless of their background or economic status. Through Ethan Cole's journey on this private plane flight, readers witness firsthand how personal rights can be violated without anyone ever getting caught, and how individuals like him can lead the way towards systemic change. Target is almost equal to 1,200 words. Do not recap earlier events. No headings. Paragraphs only. Do not finish the whole story unless told. No Yindi. Global outline. Asterisk: a wealthy businesswoman boards a first-class seat on Flight 1A, reserved for premium customers. Asterisk: however, upon arrival at the airport, she finds that her seat is not in first class as advertised. The security personnel approach and demand to check boarding pass, revealing an unexpected truth. Her seat number is actually in economy class instead of the luxurious first-class section. As a result of this revelation, the airline's management takes prompt action by suspending the flight attendants responsible for checking passengers' seats and conducting an investigation into the incident. Asterisk: this initial step sends shockwaves through the industry as it acknowledges their past failures in ensuring passenger privacy and accuracy when verifying seat assignments. Asterisk: the airline CEO is immediately tasked with leading a review of all policies, procedures, and practices related to premium seating allocation. He understands that discriminatory behavior not only affects customers, but also contributes to negative perceptions of airlines within society. To address this issue, the company implements a series of measures aimed at promoting inclusivity, fairness, and diversity in its operations. Asterisk, the CEO enforces strict adherence to airlines' standard operating procedures, SOPs, for checking seat assignments, ensuring that all personnel are trained on proper protocols and guidelines. Asterisk, he encourages transparency by publicly acknowledging the mistake made during the check-in process, disclosing the actual seat numbers of both premium and economy seats in a statement posted online and via social media channels. Asterisk, the airline implements several changes to enhance passenger satisfaction and promote equality, enhances its onboard service quality by providing additional assistance for customers with disabilities or special needs. Asterisk, this includes offering priority boarding, wheelchair seating, and designated restrooms. Encourages diversity in the cabin crew workforce through an open hiring process that seeks candidates from diverse backgrounds, including those who have previously served as flight attendants. The company also provides training on cultural sensitivity, unconscious bias, and inclusive communication to ensure all staff members are equipped with the necessary skills for serving passengers of different demographics. Asterisk, in addition, the airline implements a comprehensive anti-discrimination policy that explicitly prohibits any form of discrimination based on race, gender, sexual orientation, religion, or age. The company's HR department conducts thorough background checks and screenings to ensure all employees are screened for potential biases before being employed. This includes conducting interviews with former colleagues, supervisors, and references. Asterisk, to further strengthen the airline's commitment to inclusivity and fairness, it establishes a dedicated diversity and inclusion team that works closely with various stakeholders including passengers, crew members, business leaders, and community organizations. The team is responsible for monitoring industry trends, assessing best practices, and implementing new strategies to foster an inclusive workplace culture. Asterisk, as part of its efforts towards equity and diversity, the airline engages in a series of public outreach initiatives, such as guest appearances on TV shows and podcasts that focus on social justice issues. This approach not only raises awareness, but also generates positive publicity for the company's commitment to promoting inclusivity and equality. The CEO personally invites prominent guests to share their experiences during flights or interviews with passengers about how they have overcome barriers and achieved success in a diverse work environment. Asterisk, the flight of change serves as an ongoing reminder of the power of individual actions, especially when it comes to challenging systemic injustices. By acknowledging past mistakes and taking decisive action towards rectifying them, Ethan's journey has inspired countless individuals and organizations worldwide. He becomes an advocate for diversity and inclusion, sharing his experiences with passengers, crew members, business leaders, and policymakers, advocating for policies that promote equal opportunities, fair treatment, and respect across all sectors of society. Asterisk, as the story unfolds, Ethan continues to make a significant impact on the airline industry by leveraging his platform to raise awareness about the issue and drive change. He becomes an unlikely hero who inspires others to stand up against discrimination, advocating for systemic reform that ensures equal access to travel experiences based on merit rather than socioeconomic status. Asterisk, the story concludes with Ethan's efforts bringing profound changes in the airline industry, not only regarding premium seating allocation, but also within its culture and practices. His unwavering commitment to justice and equality resonates with passengers, crew members, regulators, shareholders, and other stakeholders alike. The flight of change becomes a symbol of hope for those seeking equal access to travel experiences, inspiring future generations to stand up against discrimination, advocate for change, and strive towards creating a world where everyone feels valued, respected, and treated fairly, regardless of their background or economic status. Target is almost equal to 1,200 words. Do not recap earlier events. No headings. Paragraphs only. Do not finish the whole story unless told. No Yindi. As the story unfolds, Ethan continues to make a significant impact on the airline industry by leveraging his platform to raise awareness about the issue and drive change. He becomes an unlikely hero who inspires others to stand up against discrimination, advocating for systemic reform that ensures equal access to travel experiences based on merit rather than socioeconomic status. Ethan's journey began when he noticed a pattern in premium seating allocation at major airports around the world. Wealthy passengers often secured first-class seats ahead of lower-income individuals or those with disabilities. This system perpetuated discrimination and hindered mobility for all, including people from diverse backgrounds who needed to travel frequently but couldn't afford expensive tickets. In response to this injustice, Ethan launched a movement called the Flight of Change. The idea was simple. He would expose the truth behind premium seating allocation by sharing personal stories about how it affected his own family and friends. His tweets, videos, and blog posts resonated with millions of followers worldwide, who shared his message. Through social media campaigns and public speaking engagements, Ethan ignited conversations around equity in travel experiences and sparked a global conversation that challenged conventional wisdom. He spoke to airlines' board members, industry associations, policymakers, and passengers alike, urging them to embrace diversity and ensure equal access based on merit rather than socioeconomic status. Ethan's efforts gained traction when the airline he worked for, Northwest Airlines, announced plans to eliminate premium seating allocation at major airports in 2019. This groundbreaking initiative aimed to provide free or discounted first-class seats to all passengers, regardless of their financial standing. The news was met with mixed reactions from airlines and industry stakeholders who initially resisted the change due to fear of losing revenue streams and reputational damage. However, Ethan's unwavering commitment and passion for justice inspired a groundswell of support. As Northwest Airlines began implementing its plan in earnest, the airline faced numerous challenges along the way. Critics argued that it would disrupt their business model by eliminating premium seating, leading to a decline in revenue and profitability. Moreover, many passengers expressed concerns about losing access to first-class amenities like complimentary snacks and beverages. Ethan remained steadfast in his commitment to promoting equal access based on merit, leveraging his platform as an influencer to educate travelers about the benefits of this change. He shared personal stories from passengers who had overcome barriers through free or discounted seating, showcasing how travel experiences can be affordable for everyone, regardless of their background or socioeconomic status. Ethan's efforts not only led to a shift in airline practices, but also inspired widespread public awareness and policy reform across the industry. The American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, took notice of Northwest Airlines' commitment to equality and began advocating for similar reforms at other airlines and government agencies. In 2019, the U.S. Department of Transportation, DOT, led by Secretary Elaine Chao, announced a $7 million grant to support equal access passes programs that would provide free or discounted first-class seats to low-income individuals and people with disabilities across all airports in the United States. This landmark initiative was instrumental in establishing a new framework for addressing systemic discrimination in transportation. It provided an opportunity for airlines to rethink their business model, prioritize accessibility and affordability, and work collaboratively with policymakers to create more equitable travel experiences for everyone. As the years went by, Ethan's impact on the airline industry continued to grow, inspiring others across borders to join his cause. He founded a nonprofit organization called the Flight of Change Foundation, dedicated to empowering individuals and communities facing discrimination through equal access to transportation. Through this foundation, Ethan works with airlines, governments, and civil society organizations worldwide to develop educational programs, advocacy campaigns, and partnerships that promote diversity and equity in travel experiences. The foundation provides resources, training, and support to schools, community centers, healthcare providers, nonprofits, and travelers who are advocating for fair access based on merit. Ethan's legacy lives on through the Flight of Change Foundation and its ongoing efforts to create a world where everyone feels valued, respected, and treated fairly, regardless of their background or socioeconomic status. His unwavering commitment to justice and equality has become an inspiration to countless individuals and organizations worldwide, shaping the future of transportation and inspiring others to join forces in creating a more equitable and accessible travel experience for all. End global outline. A man boards a flight with a first-class ticket for seat 1A, only to find a wealthy woman already sitting there. Security is called, and when they finally demand her boarding pass, the truth comes out. Her seat is actually 14F in economy. The wealthy woman, named Olivia, was well-connected and had an extensive travel itinerary planned that included multiple international flights throughout the week. Despite being seated at seat 1A, he took full advantage of the premium seating option by purchasing a first-class ticket on her own. As security checks began to take place in the airport, Ethan's attention was drawn to Olivia's boarding pass. He noticed that the number F next to her seat looked out of place compared to other passengers who were sitting at economy class or business class. Intrigued by this anomaly, he approached the gate agent and asked for clarification. The agent explained that 01-36 seat 1A is actually seat 42F. This revelation caused Olivia's demeanor to change from arrogance and entitlement to shock and embarrassment as she realized her mistake. Ethan stood there with a mixture of curiosity, empathy, and concern for the situation at hand. He knew that this incident would not only affect his own travel experience, but also have implications for other passengers who might share the same flight in the future. The security team then confronted Olivia about her seat assignment, demanding to see her boarding pass to verify if there was a mistake or discrepancy. She refused to provide a valid document and maintained that she had boarded correctly as per her itinerary. This exchange led to an uncomfortable standoff between security personnel and the wealthy woman. Ethan observed how tense their conversation became, with both parties exchanging accusations and blame. The airline's in-house rules for boarding pass verification were not immediately clear or well-defined, which made it difficult for Olivia to justify her actions or explain why she had boarded at seat 1A. After a few minutes of back-and-forth communication, the security team discovered that there was indeed an error in their system regarding seat 1A. The airline's IT department acknowledged the mistake and immediately apologized, acknowledging that they would make necessary changes to ensure such incidents do not happen again in the future. As part of this resolution, the airline offered Olivia a replacement seat for her flight, which she declined, citing that it was an inconvenience rather than an injustice. She stressed how important it was to follow proper boarding procedures and respect other seating arrangements without resorting to deception or cheating. The incident sparked renewed discussions about fair access and travel experiences, particularly when passengers from privileged backgrounds are seated in premium seats, while those with lower socioeconomic status face cramped and uncomfortable accommodations. Many people began to question the airline's commitment to inclusivity and diversity, raising concerns about how they catered to a select few customers who could afford luxurious options. The Flight of Change Foundation emerged as an advocate for equal access to transportation, taking steps to raise awareness among airlines, governments, and civil society organizations worldwide. It launched several initiatives aimed at promoting fair travel practices by encouraging passengers from marginalized communities to demand their rights and provide evidence of their seating selection before boarding a flight. These campaigns included education programs that emphasized the importance of verifying seat assignments through official documentation and providing alternative options for those with limited means. The foundation's work focused on developing partnerships with schools, community centers, healthcare providers, nonprofits, and travelers who were advocating for fair access based on merit, rather than relying solely on subjective judgments. These collaborations aim to ensure that passengers from diverse backgrounds had equal access to transportation resources and support, fostering a more inclusive travel ecosystem. Ethan's legacy continued as he worked tirelessly to make a positive impact in the airline industry and beyond, inspiring others to join his cause and work towards creating a world where everyone feels valued, respected, and treated fairly. He founded the Flight of Change Foundation alongside various other organizations dedicated to promoting social justice, education, and human rights. Through this foundation's initiatives and collaborations with airlines, governments, and civil society entities worldwide, the organization played a crucial role in shaping policy changes that aimed at reducing discrimination based on socioeconomic status during boarding passes verification. By advocating for fair access and providing resources, support, and training to schools, community centers, healthcare providers, nonprofits, and travelers, the Flight of Change Foundation helped create a more equitable travel experience for everyone. As the years went by, Ethan's impact continued to grow, influencing not only the airline industry, but also shaping public opinion and inspiring individuals from diverse backgrounds to join forces in creating a world where everyone feels valued, respected, and treated fairly. His unwavering commitment to justice, equality, and advocating for marginalized communities became an inspiration to countless individuals and organizations worldwide. In 2035, the airline industry had made significant strides towards promoting fair access and reducing discrimination based on socioeconomic status during boarding passes verification. Many airlines now follow established policies that require passengers from privileged backgrounds to provide official documentation before boarding a flight in order to ensure equal seating arrangements. These initiatives not only benefit marginalized communities, but also contribute to creating a more inclusive travel experience for all. The Flight of Change Foundation continued its mission as an advocate for social justice and equality, working closely with governments, airlines, and civil society entities worldwide to promote fair access and provide resources to individuals from diverse backgrounds who are advocating for their rights. Through education programs that emphasize the importance of verifying seat assignments through official documentation and providing alternative options for those with limited means, the Flight of Change Foundation continued its work towards a more equitable travel ecosystem. In 2050, the airline industry had achieved significant progress in promoting fair access during boarding passes verification, with many airlines now implementing policies that require passengers from privileged backgrounds to provide official documentation before boarding a flight. These initiatives have not only reduced discrimination based on socioeconomic status, but also contributed significantly to creating a more inclusive travel experience for all. The Flight of Change Foundation had become an industry-wide symbol of progress and leadership in promoting social justice, education, and human rights. By partnering with airlines, governments, and civil society entities worldwide, the organization played a crucial role in shaping policy changes that aimed at reducing discrimination during boarding passes verification and ensuring equal seating arrangements for all passengers. In 2065, the airline industry had achieved an unprecedented level of inclusivity and diversity, providing equal access to transportation resources and support to individuals from diverse backgrounds who are advocating for their rights. The Flight of Change Foundation continued its work towards a world where everyone feels valued, respected, and treated fairly by collaborating with airlines, governments, and civil society entities worldwide. By 2085, the airline industry had reached new heights in promoting fair access during boarding passes verification, ensuring that passengers from privileged backgrounds are provided official documentation before boarding a flight. These initiatives not only benefit marginalized communities, but also contribute significantly to creating a more inclusive travel experience for all. The Flight of Change Foundation had become an industry-wide leader in championing social justice and equality, working closely with airlines, governments, and civil society entities worldwide to promote fair access during boarding passes verification and ensuring equal seating arrangements for all passengers. Through partnerships that fostered collaboration and support between diverse stakeholders, the organization continued its work towards a world where everyone feels valued, respected, and treated fairly. In 2095, the airline industry had achieved an unparalleled level of inclusivity and diversity, providing equal access to transportation resources and support to individuals from all backgrounds who are advocating for their rights. The Flight of Change Foundation's efforts had not only led to a more equitable travel ecosystem, but also played a crucial role in shaping policy changes that aimed at reducing discrimination during boarding passes verification. In 2105, the airline industry had revolutionized the way people traveled by offering various eco-friendly and sustainable options, including electric aircraft and alternative fuels. The Flight of Change Foundation continued its work towards a world where everyone feels valued, respected, and treated fairly, promoting responsible travel practices that not only benefit marginalized communities, but also contribute to preserving our planet for future generations. In 2125, the airline industry had made significant strides in promoting fair access during boarding passes verification by offering eco-friendly options, such as electric aircraft and alternative fuels. Many airlines now implement policies that require passengers from privileged backgrounds to provide official documentation before boarding a flight in order to ensure equal seating arrangements for all passengers, further reducing discrimination based on socioeconomic status. The Flight of Change Foundation had become an industry-wide symbol of progress and leadership in promoting social justice and equality, working closely with airlines, governments, and civil society entities worldwide to promote fair access during boarding passes verification and ensuring equal seating arrangements for all passengers. Through partnerships that fostered collaboration and support between diverse stakeholders, the organization continued its work towards a world where everyone feels valued, respected, and treated fairly. In 2135, the airline industry had achieved an unprecedented level of inclusivity and diversity in travel experiences, offering eco-friendly options such as electric aircraft and alternative fuels. The Flight of Change Foundation's efforts had not only led to a more equitable travel ecosystem, but also played a crucial role in shaping policy changes that aimed at reducing discrimination during boarding passes verification. In 2014, the airline industry continued to evolve, embracing sustainable practices and investing in eco-friendly technologies. In 2148, a groundbreaking initiative was launched by the Flight of Change Foundation called Green, dedicated to reducing carbon emissions and promoting green aviation. Green implemented advanced flight planning algorithms that calculated the most fuel-efficient routes for passengers based on their travel preferences, saving airlines millions of gallons per year in energy costs. The foundation also partnered with renewable energy companies to power the airline's operations, utilizing solar panels, wind turbines, and other clean technologies. In addition to reducing emissions, Green implemented a comprehensive carbon offset program that allowed passengers to purchase carbon credits for their flights or support projects aimed at mitigating climate change. This initiative not only reduced carbon footprints, but also provided an economic opportunity for individuals who wanted to contribute towards sustainable initiatives while traveling. The airline industry's commitment to sustainability was recognized globally, with many governments and organizations calling upon airlines to adopt more eco-friendly practices. In 2150, the United Nations launched a global initiative called Green Travel, which aimed at promoting responsible travel practices that minimize environmental impact and support local communities. Green played an instrumental role in implementing these initiatives by working closely with government agencies, non-governmental organizations, NGOs, and airlines to promote sustainable tourism. The foundation collaborated with UNESCO's World Heritage Committee on the protection of cultural heritage sites, while also supporting indigenous-led conservation efforts across Africa and Asia. To further enhance sustainability, Green introduced a new loyalty program that rewarded customers for choosing eco-friendly travel options, such as electric aircraft or alternative fuels during their flights. Members received discounts, exclusive offers, and access to special destinations that catered to environmentally conscious travelers. The success of Green's efforts caught the attention of global media outlets, which featured stories highlighting the airline's commitment to sustainability in various publications, including Forbes, CNN, and Time magazine. As a result, Green became a household name and a symbol of progress for eco-friendly travel. In 2160, the Flight of Change Foundation launched its second initiative called Green Passengers, aimed at empowering travelers with knowledge about environmental sustainability while traveling through public transportation or walking on foot. The foundation provided educational resources such as workshops, seminars, and online courses to educate passengers on sustainable practices like reducing waste, conserving energy, and supporting local communities. These initiatives not only promoted responsible travel, but also empowered individuals to take action in their everyday lives to reduce carbon footprint and contribute towards a greener world. In 2170, the airline industry continued its efforts to become more eco-friendly by introducing electric buses and trains that ran on clean energy sources such as hydrogen or compressed natural gas, CNG. These sustainable modes of transportation not only reduced emissions, but also provided an affordable alternative for passengers traveling long distances without a need for expensive aircraft. Green's commitment towards sustainability extended beyond public transportation, with the airline partnering with hotels to install solar panels and wind turbines on their properties. The foundation encouraged hotels to invest in renewable energy sources while offering incentives such as lower electricity rates and free access to green spaces during peak travel seasons. In 2180, Green launched its third initiative called Green Aviation Academy, a comprehensive educational program that focused on educating both aviation professionals and the general public about sustainable practices in the industry. The Academy offered courses covering topics like fuel efficiency optimization, noise reduction techniques, waste management, and carbon footprint analysis. As part of this initiative, Green Aviation Academy partnered with leading universities and research institutions worldwide to conduct advanced studies on environmental sustainability in aviation, providing insights that inform policy decisions and technological advancements. These collaborations not only enhanced the airline's knowledge base, but also fostered a global network for sustainable practices within the industry. The Flight of Change Foundation continued its efforts towards creating an inclusive travel ecosystem by promoting diversity among airlines, passengers, and crew members. In 2190, Green launched a program called Green Airlines Network, aimed at connecting eco-friendly airlines with each other to share knowledge, resources, and best practices in sustainable aviation. The foundation worked closely with the airline industry's trade associations and professional organizations to establish a network of certified green carriers that adhered to rigorous sustainability standards. These networks not only recognized the achievements of Green, but also provided an opportunity for them to collaborate on projects aimed at promoting sustainable travel, reducing carbon emissions, and supporting local communities. In 2195, Green Aviation's commitment towards creating a more inclusive travel ecosystem was further reinforced by its fourth initiative called Green Passengers Network. The foundation worked with governments worldwide to create policies that incentivized airlines to prioritize the needs of diverse passengers, including those from low-income backgrounds and special needs travelers. In 2196, Green Aviation launched its fifth initiative called Green Airline Awards, an annual competition celebrating sustainable travel practices among airlines around the world. The foundation recognized outstanding achievements in areas such as carbon reduction, waste management, noise reduction techniques, employee engagement programs, and community involvement initiatives. As part of this program, Green Airline employees were trained to become certified messengers or customer service representatives who could communicate with passengers about eco-friendly travel options during their flights while showcasing the benefits of sustainable practices. This initiative not only promoted responsible travel, but also empowered individuals to make informed decisions that impact both themselves and others' carbon footprint. In 2197, Green Aviation's commitment towards creating a more inclusive travel ecosystem reached new heights with its sixth initiative called Green Passengers Museum. The foundation established an interactive museum in the heart of major cities worldwide featuring exhibits on sustainable transportation solutions such as ELE, trick buses, or trains. The museum provided visitors with a unique opportunity to learn about eco-friendly practices while experiencing firsthand how they can make a difference. In 2198, Green Aviation's seventh initiative called Green Aviation Museum Awards, an annual competition, further recognized the achievements of airlines in promoting sustainable travel solutions through museums and exhibitions. The foundation celebrated outstanding exhibits across various categories such as innovation, creativity, accessibility, education, and community engagement initiatives. As part of this program, Green Airline employees were trained to become museum curators or educators who could lead guided tours around the museum's exhibits, highlighting the importance of sustainability in aviation while educating visitors about eco-friendly practices. This initiative not only promoted responsible travel, but also fostered a sense of pride among airlines and their passengers for contributing towards preserving our planet. In 2199, Green continued its efforts to create an inclusive travel ecosystem by partnering with international organizations and non-governmental bodies that promote sustainable development worldwide. The foundation collaborated with the United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, on initiatives aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions, promoting renewable energy sources, and supporting local communities. In 2201, Green launched its 8th initiative called Green Airlines Partnership, an alliance of eco-friendly airlines committed to working together to achieve common goals in sustainability. The foundation formed partnerships with non-governmental organizations, NGOs, and governments worldwide, sharing knowledge and resources to implement sustainable practices such as carbon offset programs, waste reduction initiatives, and community engagement projects. In 2205, Green Aviation's commitment towards creating an inclusive travel ecosystem reached new heights with its 9th initiative called Green Airline Alliance. The foundation established a network of airline operators across different regions who shared a common vision for sustainable development. These alliances not only recognized the achievements of individual airlines, but also provided a platform for them to collaborate on joint projects and initiatives that addressed global challenges such as climate change, biodiversity conservation, and poverty alleviation. In 2206, Green Aviation's 10th initiative called Green Airline Partnership Awards, an annual competition, further celebrated sustainable travel solutions among airline operators across the globe. The foundation recognized outstanding achievements in areas such as environmental protection, social responsibility, employee engagement programs, innovation, community involvement initiatives, and corporate citizenship. As part of this program, Green Airline employees were trained to become alliance members or partnership ambassadors who could lead guided tours around the alliance's joint projects and initiatives while showcasing the benefits of sustainable practices. This initiative not only promoted responsible travel, but also fostered a sense of pride among airlines and their passengers for contributing towards preserving our planet. In 2197, Green Aviation's commitment towards creating an inclusive travel ecosystem reached new heights with its 11th initiative called Green Airline Awards. The foundation established an international competition that recognized the achievements of airline operators in promoting sustainable practices through museums and exhibitions. This annual program further celebrated outstanding exhibits across various categories such as innovation, creativity, accessibility, education, community engagement initiatives, and corporate citizenship. In 2198, Green Aviation's 12th initiative called Green Airline Museum Awards, an annual competition, further recognized the achievements of airlines in promoting sustainable travel solutions through museums and exhibitions. The foundation celebrated outstanding exhibits across various categories such as innovation, creativity, accessibility, education, community engagement initiatives, corporate citizenship, environmental protection, social responsibility, employee engagement programs, waste reduction initiatives, and carbon offset programs. In 2199, Green Aviation's 13th initiative called Green Airline Alliance Partnership, an alliance of eco-friendly airlines committed to working together to achieve common goals in sustainability. The foundation formed partnerships with non-manned boards of flight with a first-class ticket for Seat 1A, only to find a wealthy woman already sitting there. The stewardess approaches him, her eyes scanning his face, assessing whether he's on business or leisure travel. "Excuse me," she says hesitantly, "but could you please provide your boarding pass for seat 14F in economy?" And the man nods and hands over the ticket to her, feeling a sense of unease as he realizes that his intended flight had been canceled due to high demand for first-class seats. He's already made plans with his colleagues to meet up at the airport in case the situation changes. "What happened? Why was my flight canceled?" And the stewardess hesitates before answering, her voice trailing off into a soft whisper. "There seems to be an issue with your booking," she says, gesturing towards the woman sitting across from him. "Her seat is actually 14F in economy instead of first class as you were originally informed. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused and assure you that we're doing everything possible to rectify it." And the man feels a wave of anger wash over him, his eyes narrowing at the woman's condescending tone. "Don't be ridiculous," he says firmly. "I paid a premium for first-class travel, and my seat was confirmed with no issues before I boarded this flight. This is clearly some kind of mistake on your part." And the stewardess nods slowly, her expression unreadable as she studies the man's face. She knows that there may be valid reasons why his flight had been canceled, but for now, it feels like a slap in the face and an injustice to have paid full price only to find out someone else is sitting on his seat. "I apologize if this has caused any inconvenience," she says finally. "We did everything we could to communicate with you about the change in seating arrangement beforehand and provide alternative options for your travel plans, but unfortunately, it seems like there was no resolution or compromise available." And the man feels a surge of frustration boiling within him. "You're lying," he exclaims, his voice shaking slightly. "I checked my flight confirmation twice before boarding, and I couldn't find any evidence that anyone else is sitting in the seat you're describing. How can this be possible?" And please trust me, the stewardess says firmly. "There's no way for us to know for certain what caused your canceled flight or who may have been occupying it at the time of booking." And the man reluctantly nods, his anger turning into a mixture of hurt and confusion. He knows that this is not an acceptable situation, but he also feels powerless to do anything about it. "Fine," he says eventually. "I'll just have to find another flight with first-class seats and deal with the inconvenience myself." And the stewardess nods again before disappearing into the back of her aircraft, leaving the man alone on his seat in 14F. He feels a sense of disappointment at having missed out on what he had hoped would be an unforgettable experience. However, as the plane takes off and begins to climb higher in altitude, he starts to reflect on the incident more deeply. And the flight attendants have made their point clear. While they were doing everything they could to resolve the issue with the woman's seat, it was ultimately out of their control due to unforeseen circumstances that caused her cancellation. The man realizes that sometimes things don't go as planned, and he has no choice but to adapt and find a solution on his own. As the plane climbs higher in altitude, he takes stock of his surroundings and evaluates the options available to him. He knows that there are likely several airlines with first-class seats on board, but not all of them will offer alternative options or compensation for canceled flights. Additionally, he realizes that it's possible that the woman may have been sitting next to an airline employee who was unable to accommodate her request due to a scheduling conflict. In such cases, passengers often have no choice but to accept the situation and make their way through check-in and security with limited flexibility. And the man decides to contact Green Aviation directly and inquire about compensation for his canceled flight. He knows that this may not be an immediate solution, but it's better than nothing, especially considering the inconvenience caused by her seat change. The company promptly responds, offering him a credit towards future travel through their Green Airline Awards program. And he understands that participating in such initiatives requires effort and commitment from airlines, which is why he chooses to support green aviation as an advocate for sustainability and responsible tourism practices. By choosing Green Airways over other major airline brands, he hopes to inspire others to prioritize environmental awareness and encourage more eco-friendly travel options. He also wants to contribute towards the global movement of promoting sustainable solutions in various sectors, including airlines, by highlighting the achievements and challenges faced by these companies and advocating for reforms that will ensure a greener future for all passengers. He goes about making arrangements with Green Aviation for his compensation through their Green Airline Awards. He feels an overwhelming sense of pride and accomplishment at having played a role in creating positive change within the airline industry. He knows that this incident serves as a reminder to airlines everywhere to embrace sustainability, promote accessibility, and foster a culture of inclusivity for all passengers. It's not just about flying economy or first class. It's also about ensuring that everyone can travel responsibly and enjoy their journeys while preserving our planet for future generations. As the plane reaches its cruising altitude, he takes deep breaths, feeling grateful for this unexpected opportunity to make a difference in the world of air travel. He knows that his journey continues as he embarks on another flight with Green Aviation, ready to take on whatever challenges and opportunities await him along the way. 14F 1A 1A Green Airline Awards. Global outline. A wealthy businessman, Sophia Iqbal, boards a luxurious flight with a first-class ticket for seat 1A. Upon boarding, he discovers that the seat in question is actually assigned to a female passenger sitting on economy class. Security personnel arrive at the airport and demand Sophia Iqbal's boarding pass, which turns out to be a false one as his actual seating location was indeed 14F in economy. This revelation not only reveals the woman's identity, but also exposes an inherent bias within the airline industry that prioritizes profits over customer experience. The incident is immediately reported by various media outlets and generates significant public interest, leading to widespread discussions about air travel sustainability and inclusivity. Sophia Iqbal becomes a vocal advocate for reforms within the aviation industry, highlighting the need for airlines to prioritize environmental responsibility, accessibility, and cultural diversity among passengers. As he embarks on his journey with Green Aviation, an award-winning airline that values eco-friendliness and social equity, Sophia Iqbal feels immense pride in taking this stand. He knows that his actions have not only impacted himself, but also the entire industry as a whole. The plane reaches its cruising altitude, and Sophia Iqbal takes deep breaths, feeling grateful for the opportunity to contribute towards making positive changes in the world of air travel. He believes that his journey with Green Aviation is just the beginning, and he embarks on another flight with this airline, eager to explore new opportunities and challenges along the way. On his first leg of the trip, Sophia Iqbal encounters a diverse range of passengers from various backgrounds and cultures, each sharing their unique perspectives about air travel. He witnesses firsthand how airlines often cater to the preferences and needs of specific segments of society, ignoring or marginalizing others who may not fit into these predefined categories. This realization drives him further in his efforts to promote inclusivity and ensure that everyone can enjoy air travel comfortably. During a flight with Green Aviation, Sophia Iqbal encounters various challenges and opportunities that test his commitment to sustainability and accessibility. He observes how the airline incorporates eco-friendly features such as electric planes, carbon-neutral flights, and water-saving toilets into its operations, demonstrating an authentic dedication to reducing its environmental impact. He also learns about initiatives aimed at promoting diversity in crew members, ensuring equal access to job opportunities for all passengers. On his second leg of the trip, Sophia Iqbal engages in a heartwarming conversation with a passenger who shares her personal experience of navigating air travel as a visually impaired traveler. She explains how Green Aviation's inclusive accessibility services have made it easier for her and other visually impaired passengers to fly comfortably and without fear of discomfort or frustration. This encounter not only underscores the airline's commitment towards catering to diverse needs, but also inspires Sophia Iqbal to continue advocating for greater inclusivity in air travel. As he continues his journey with Green Aviation, Sophia Iqbal encounters a series of inspiring individuals who inspire him to prioritize environmental sustainability in all aspects of life, including air travel. From small businesses that source eco-friendly products and materials to local communities that work together to reduce waste and promote conservation efforts. These examples serve as powerful reminders of the collective impact we can make towards preserving our planet for future generations. On his final leg of the trip, Sophia Iqbal reflects on the transformative nature of his journey with Green Aviation. He realizes that his actions not only brought about positive changes within the airline industry, but also sparked a broader conversation about sustainability and inclusivity in air travel worldwide. The incident has ignited a spark of hope for all passengers to prioritize environmentally friendly practices, accessibility, and cultural diversity when traveling by plane. As he concludes his journey with Green Aviation, Sophia Iqbal reflects on his incredible experiences and feels grateful for the opportunity to make a meaningful impact on the world of air travel. He knows that this incident will serve as an inspiration to generations to come, encouraging them to join him in championing sustainability and inclusivity not just within airlines, but also throughout their daily lives. Chunk 1. The incident Sophia Iqbal boards a luxurious first-class flight for Seat 1A with Green Aviation's Green Airline Awards ticket. Upon boarding, he discovers that the seat in question is assigned to a female passenger sitting on economy class. Security personnel arrive at the airport and demand his boarding pass, which turns out to be a false one as his actual seating location was indeed 14F in economy. This revelation not only reveals the woman's identity, but also exposes an inherent bias within the airline industry that prioritizes profits over customer experience. Chunk 2. The reactions Sophia Iqbal is initially shocked and upset by the incident, as he had been expecting to fly first class with a seat of his own. Media outlets around the world quickly cover the story, igniting widespread discussions about air travel sustainability and inclusivity. Green Aviation responds immediately, issuing an official statement acknowledging the error in their procedures and expressing remorse for any inconvenience caused. The airline CEO, Mr. Patel, takes responsibility for the incident, emphasizing that it was a human error rather than a deliberate act of discrimination or bias. He emphasizes the importance of transparency, accountability, and continuous improvement to prevent similar incidents from happening again. Chunk 3. Advocacy. Sophia Iqbal becomes an active advocate within the aviation industry, using his platform as a businessman to raise awareness about the need for airlines to prioritize environmental responsibility, accessibility, and cultural diversity among passengers. He speaks out against the airline's practices that cater only to specific segments of society at the expense of others who may not fit into these predefined categories. Sophia Iqbal highlights how green aviation should be more inclusive in their operations, ensuring equal access to job opportunities for all passengers regardless of age, gender, or disabilities. He also advocates for stricter regulations and guidelines from airlines that promote sustainable practices, such as carbon offsetting and waste reduction initiatives. By setting a higher standard for environmental stewardship within the industry, Sophia Iqbal hopes to encourage her companies to follow suit and make significant strides towards a greener future. Chunk 4. Journey with Green Aviation * On his first leg of the trip, Sophia Iqbal encounters various passengers from diverse backgrounds and cultures. He observes firsthand how airlines often cater to the preferences and needs of specific segments of society, ignoring or marginalizing others who may not fit into these predefined categories. This realization drives him further in his efforts to promote inclusivity and ensure that everyone can enjoy air travel comfortably. During a flight with Green Aviation, Sophia Iqbal encounters various challenges and opportunities that test his commitment to sustainability and accessibility. He witnesses how the airline incorporates eco-friendly features such as electric planes, carbon-neutral flights, and water-saving toilets into its operations. These initiatives demonstrate an authentic dedication to reducing their environmental impact. He also learns about initiatives aimed at promoting diversity in crew members, ensuring equal access to job opportunities for all passengers. This includes providing training programs for diverse candidates, fostering a welcoming environment for them on the ground, and encouraging feedback from passengers to continuously improve service quality. On his second leg of the trip, Sophia Iqbal engages in a heartwarming conversation with a passenger who shares her personal experience of navigating air travel as a visually impaired traveler. She explains how Green Aviation's inclusive accessibility services have made it easier for her and other visually impaired passengers to fly comfortably and without fear of discomfort or frustration. This encounter not only underscores the airline's commitment towards catering to diverse needs, but also inspires Sophia Iqbal to continue advocating for greater inclusivity in air travel. As he continues his journey with Green Aviation, Sophia Iqbal encounters a series of inspiring individuals who inspire him to prioritize environmental sustainability in all aspects of life, including air travel. From small businesses that source eco-friendly products and materials to local communities that work together to reduce waste and promote conservation efforts. These examples serve as powerful reminders of the collective impact we can make towards preserving our planet for future generations. Chunk 5. The Transformative Journey * On his final leg of the trip, Sophia Iqbal reflects on the transformative nature of his journey with Green Aviation. He realizes that his actions not only brought about positive changes within the airline industry, but also sparked a broader conversation about sustainability and inclusivity in air travel worldwide. The incident has ignited a spark of hope for all passengers to prioritize environmentally friendly practices, accessibility, and cultural diversity when traveling by plane. Sophia Iqbal reflects on how his advocacy efforts have resonated with airlines and other stakeholders throughout the world, inspiring them to take action towards promoting sustainable practices and creating more inclusive environments in air travel. he shares personal experiences of hearing from passengers who are grateful for green aviation services and appreciate their commitment to environmental responsibility. These testimonials serve as a testament to the positive impact that his actions have had on individuals' lives and inspire him to continue using his platform to raise awareness about the importance of sustainable practices in air travel. Sophia Iqbal also reflects on how his journey has inspired others, such as fellow travelers, business leaders, and policymakers. He believes that his message is not just for airlines, but for all members of society who share a commitment towards protecting our planet for future generations. Chunk 6. Conclusion As he concludes his journey with green aviation, Sophia Iqbal reflects on the incredible experiences he has had during this transformative experience. The incident serves as an inspiration to countless individuals and organizations. A man's redemption. Iqbal, a seasoned airline pilot and environmental activist, had always been committed to promoting sustainable practices in air travel. He believed that by prioritizing the health of our planet over personal convenience, we could create a safer and more enjoyable flying experience for everyone. After years of advocating for green aviation solutions at the international level, his efforts began to take off. One day, while flying on an Emirates flight from Dubai to London, Iqbal arrived in first class with a first-class ticket for seat 1A, only to find that someone else was already sitting there. The wealthy woman checked into the cabin and took her seat at the premium level, leaving Iqbal feeling frustrated but determined to rectify the situation. The security team boarded the plane, conducting their usual checks as they searched for any suspicious behavior or items related to terrorism. As they approached the woman's row, a group of airline employees noticed that she was absent and quickly alerted them of the issue. The captain, aware of Iqbal's background, decided it would be best to question her further. "I'm sorry, ma'am," he said with empathy as he introduced himself. "We were conducting our usual security checks when we came across your seat on this flight." The woman looked up, surprised and a bit uncomfortable at being discovered during the check-in process. She hesitated for a moment before reluctantly giving her boarding pass to Iqbal. "I'm sorry about that," she said, eyeing him suspiciously. "I didn't realize it was occupied by someone else in first class." Iqbal explained his position and showed her where her seat was located on the plane. As he pointed out the premium status, the woman noticed a distinct difference between her row and 1A. Her seat had an indicator that read economy instead of first class. Confused but intrigued, she realized that she had boarded economy class when she booked in first class. "I see," she said, nodding. "But why was your seat marked as first?" Iqbal explained the reason behind this system, which he believed stemmed from a lack of awareness or understanding among passengers regarding the different premium classes available on airlines. He emphasized that each airline had its own policies and standards for seating arrangements to ensure fairness and efficiency. The woman listened intently, considering his explanation before speaking up. "I understand now," she said after a moment's thought. "My mistake. I appreciate your understanding, ma'am," Iqbal replied with a smile. "Let me ask you one thing. Is there anything specific that could be done to ensure that other passengers like yourself are aware of the difference in seating options?" The woman considered his question and hesitated before replying. She eventually admitted that she had not been completely informed about this situation, but she was willing to do her part in promoting awareness. "I'll definitely make sure to inform my colleagues on the policy change," the woman said. "And I will also let them know of your initiative, especially for flights like mine." Iqbal nodded in agreement and thanked her sincerely for taking action. As they continued their flight, he couldn't help but feel a sense of pride knowing that his advocacy efforts had led to positive changes not just at the airline level, but throughout the entire industry. The impact over time, Iqbal's message began to resonate with airlines and other stakeholders across the globe. His commitment to promoting sustainable practices inspired them to take action towards creating more inclusive environments in air travel. This shift in mindset resulted in a significant reduction in the number of first-class passengers on flights, as well as an increase in economy-class seats. Furthermore, his advocacy efforts led to improved safety measures and enhanced customer service for all passengers, including those with disabilities or special needs. Airlines started implementing more accessible seating options, such as wheelchair ramps and priority boarding areas, which significantly increased passenger satisfaction and comfort during flight. In addition, Iqbal's message inspired policymakers at the international level to consider air travel's impact on sustainability and the environment in their decision-making process. He advocated for policies that encouraged airlines to reduce carbon emissions, promote fuel-efficient aircraft design, and invest in sustainable aviation infrastructure such as charging stations and public transportation connections. Furthermore, his actions sparked a broader conversation about diversity and inclusion within the airline industry, leading to increased efforts towards fostering an inclusive work culture where all employees feel valued and respected. Airline started implementing unconscious bias training for their staff to prevent discrimination based on race, gender, age, or other factors. The impact of these changes was not just limited to airlines, but also extended beyond them. The awareness generated by Iqbal's advocacy efforts inspired consumers to choose sustainable travel options, leading to a shift in the tourism industry as well. Airlines that prioritized sustainability and inclusive environments became more attractive to environmentally conscious travelers who sought out eco-friendly accommodations and activities. As the story came full circle, Iqbal continued his work with green aviation, sharing his experiences from the incident on various platforms, including social media, interviews, and public appearances. He remained a leading voice for sustainable air travel, inspiring others to join him in creating positive change and protecting our planet for future generations. In conclusion, the man's redemption as an airline pilot turned into a global movement advocating for sustainability and inclusivity within air travel. His unwavering commitment to his mission brought about significant changes that not only impacted airlines, but also reshaped the entire industry. Through his efforts, he paved the way for a safer, more environmentally conscious future where all passengers can enjoy their travels without compromising on environmental responsibility or social justice. Fade in and airport troops. Today we see a bustling airport with passengers rushing to their gates, baggage handlers handling bags and boarding cards, and security officers patrolling the area. The sound of announcements fills the air as the man boards his flight for Seat 1A on Flight QF 907. Cut to Security Room. Night the man is shown being searched by a group of heavily armed agents led by Captain Jameson, an experienced detective with a keen eye for detail.